I get it when a friend tells you they are thinking about splurging on a new gaming rig. The first thing that comes to mind is, what if I end up paying for something that doesn't fit my needs? You've probably seen a ton of flashy ads promising the ultimate experience, but the reality of setting up a pre-built desktop can feel like a gamble. I've been in that spot more than once, scrolling through endless spec sheets, trying to picture whether a machine will actually hold up to a marathon of modern titles, and whether the extra cash is really worth it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the iBUYPOWER Element Black Gaming PC and see if it lives up to the hype, or if it's just another overpriced box. First off, the core of any gaming machine is the processor and graphics card, and this build comes with an Intel Core i9-14900F paired with an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 12GB. In everyday terms, that means you'll be cruising through recent releases like *Starfield** or *Baldur's Gate 3* at 1440p with high settings. And you'll still have enough headroom for a 4K push if you're willing to dial back a few shadows. The 32GB of DDR5 RAM running at 5200 MHz isn't just for bragging rights, it actually smooths out those massive open-world environments where texture streaming can otherwise cause stutters. And with a 1TB NVMe SSD, loading times drop from minutes to seconds, which you'll notice instantly when you launch into a new map or respawn after a defeat. Now, you might be wondering how this translates to a real-world setup. The first thing I appreciated is the out-of-the-box experience. The box arrives with the tower already assembled, so there's no need to fumble with 1,000 screws or worry about BIOS configuration. You plug the power cord, connect the supplied keyboard and mouse, and within a few minutes you're on the Windows 11 desktop. The inclusion of peripherals is a nice touch for people who don't already own a decent gaming mouse and a decent-looking keyboard. The RGB lighting on the case and the RAM sticks is subtle enough to not be obnoxious, but still adds that gamer aesthetic vibe if you like a little glow on your desk. That said, there are a few practical trade-offs that become clear after a day or two of use. The cooling solution is a standard air cooler, not a custom liquid loop. With the i9-14900F pulling a fair amount of heat under sustained loads, the fans will spin up noticeably during long raids or intense ray-traced sessions. It's not screaming loud, but if you're used to whisper-quiet builds, you'll notice the difference. The case itself is a mid-tower with a fairly tight interior, which can make future upgrades a bit of a chore. Adding a larger GPU, or a second SSD, will require some patience with cable routing and possibly swapping out the existing power supply if you decide to go for a higher wattage unit later on. Also, the machine ships with Windows 11 Home, which includes some pre-installed apps that you'll probably want to strip out. It's not a deal-breaker, but it adds a small extra step before you get to a clean gaming environment. Who should consider this setup? If you're a gamer who values a rear play experience, don't want to spend weekends building a PC, and you're looking for a machine that can handle the latest AAA titles at high resolutions without constantly tweaking settings, the Element Black hits the sweet spot. It's also a solid option for streamers who need that extra CPU muscle for encoding video while still delivering smooth gameplay. The included keyboard and mouse make it a convenient package for someone moving into a new apartment or upgrading from an older system where peripherals have already seen better days. On the other hand, if you're the type who enjoys tinkering, swapping out cooling solutions, or you're hunting the absolute best price-to-performance ratio, you might want to look elsewhere. DIY builds can often get you a similar performance tier for a lower cost, especially if you already own a decent monitor and peripherals. Also, if you're planning to run a dual-monitor setup with high refresh rates, or you need extensive VRAM for professional workloads beyond gaming, the RTX 5070's 12GB might feel a bit limiting compared to the 24GB options on high-end cards. In short, the Element Black is a strong contender for plug-and-play gamers, but it isn't the ultimate choice for those who want ultimate customizability, or the absolute lowest price. Let's talk value beyond the headline specs. A big part of the price you're paying goes toward the convenience factor, the time saved not having to research compatible motherboards, match RAM speeds, or troubleshoot BIOS issues. That convenience translates into being able to jump straight into your favorite game on day one, which for many people is worth the premium. The 32GB DDR5 kit also future-proofs you for the next few years of game releases that will start demanding more memory bandwidth. And the 1TB NVMe drive, while not massive, is fast enough to keep